Shannon, one of the things that came up in our group was the language of big, hairy, audacious goals. To some people, like I was saying, like my husband, he's really good at setting these big, and the bigger and the hairier, the better. He will just throw it out there. Whereas for somebody like myself, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't say that out loud, because what happens if I don't, achieve it or even come close to it? So it's almost like we were saying, like in some ways it can feel like it's sort of a shackle, and it's really hard to express it. Whereas for other people, it's totally motivating and exciting.
Right. And I think when we break down the BHAGs into chunks, it becomes less intimidating. It's, oh, I can do that. Right. It's like saving up for a house. Do we need $20,000 tomorrow? No. Maybe when I did the math on this yesterday. It's like, if I needed $20,000 for a down payment on a house in 2 years, all I need to do is put aside $27 a day. Can I put together $27 a day? Yeah, that's more doable than thinking about, oh my God, 20 grand. So when you break down, the BHAG into chunks, and you break those chunks into chunks, then all of a sudden it becomes more attainable, right? And I think that's what we're all striving for.
If somebody is feeling overwhelmed by the terminology of a big, hairy, audacious goal, right? I mean, it's such a wonderful term. It really helps to really visualize something. But, is it appropriate to suggest that someone's big, hairy, audacious goal is maybe not the same big, hairy, audacious as someone else's?
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Can you start off with a big, hairy, audacious goal of, I'm going to clean one room in my house because I haven't cleaned my house in quite some time, and so I feel like maybe I'd like to accomplish that now?
Yeah, your goal is your goal.
Okay, so if we're getting paralyzed, so if big, hairy, audacious is paralyzing instead of freeing, maybe then what we're hearing permission to say, big, hairy, and audacious can take on a variety of looks and sizes and ways that it exists within our lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all subjective. It's all subjective. I mean, what's big for me may be small potatoes for somebody else. I was on a webinar yesterday with somebody else, a content developer person, and they were talking about, their goal was to get 6,000 people in a webinar. And I'm like, 6,000 people? What is that? I'm like, I'm happy when I have, 40. I'm okay with that. So everybody's goal is going to look different. And but even though it's different, so 6,000 versus, let's say, 40, for example, it might be equally intimidating, right? The steps, however, may still be somewhat the same, but different levels of intimidation, different levels of pressure. And it's okay. It's okay. Your goals are your goals. That's why they're your goals.